I just saw Superman, the most current one, and have some thoughts. First, it's a really good movie. They did a very good job with this particular Superman movie. I think it's the best one yet. People are going to say, like, the old one way back when with Christopher Reeves, that was the best. No. No, I don't think so at all. The story was terrible. And all the subsequent ones was just as bad. It's not a good movie. By today's standards and how I look at movies and story writing today, I saw it with my kids recently. The old one, they did not like it at all. And I had fond memories of it, but wow, it's not. Watch it again and then tell me what you think about it. But for this new one, fantastic. What I liked about it the most is that it felt comic booky. If you understand what I mean, like it didn't feel like they were trying to make this super realistic, sort of brooding, dark storyline. No, they made it fun. They made Superman kind of dorky, but like in a cool. They made him dorky in a way that he was actually interesting. He was honest. He was everything that you think about when you think about Superman in the comics, where he's just, as Batman would call him, the big blue Boy Scout. He's just that. He's exactly that. And that's what made the movie so good to me. They didn't try to make him like tough and really like, I'm so sad, I'm last script. No. They didn't do any of that. They made it fun. They made it interesting. They made it a comic book. Now for the other parts of the movie, the story part, solid story. Can't complain about the story at all. Let me retract that. I can't complain about the story. What I didn't like, but keeps in line with the comics, is that public opinion switched so hard on them so fast that you're like, that doesn't happen. Not in real life anyway. But in comics that happens all the time. Like one story, then everybody on Earth no longer likes Superman. They did that and it made sense. Like the scene where they throw the can upside his head, it like you're like, wow, that's a lot. You hate him that much right off the bat. Seemed like a lot. But it did feel like a comic book reaction to something where the masses don't seem to really have this sort of individual thought. They are the masses. And that's kind of what they did in the story. And they did a good job. They did such a good job on creating this sort of feel that this is a comic book movie. Now for the other characters, Green Lantern, great job. Mr. Terrific, great job. Hawk Girl, she was so. I think the actor, it's not about the acting, that they didn't put any emphasis on Hawk Girl at all. Which is not, it is what it is. The bad guys, both of them they're two bad guys. I'm not going to give you details on it, obviously. Well, not from anything that's different from the preview they provided. The girl that can make her hands change into weapons, she was actually a pretty cool villain. My son loved her. Luthor was a really good Luthor. The old Superman movie, Luthor, Gene Hackman. Obviously, Gene Hackman's a great actor. And they kind of get like this sort of awkward kind of, he's smart, but he seems kind of goofy supervillain. This supervillain, this Lex Luthor, I thought was pitch perfect. He had a disdain for Superman that was less about him being an alien and more about him personally being jealous of him. And I thought that was something that was really compelling. Like his hatred for him isn't about the fact that he's an alien, which they try to push in the story. The hatred was about how jealous he was. And that ties back to the original comics, whereas Luthor hates him, but not for any real good reason other than he can do things he can't. And people and the populace loves him in a way that Luthor isn't getting that kind of recognition. Again, good storytelling. It's a terrific. I thought they did a great job. He played an actually more prominent role than I thought he would. Again, great story, great writing. They did a really good job on all the characters. Even Guy Gardner, Green Lantern. I thought they did a good job with him as well. He in the comics, he's not like a nice dude. He's kind of a jerk, and they put that in the story. Again, somebody researched the comics and said, let's do it like the comics. Even the colors matched sort of this bright sort of comic booky feel. All of it was, there were goofy things happening. And one thing I do like about it, which I thought was fantastic, is that they kind of made the world feel full. You know what I mean? Like it wasn't just Superman and he was the only hero on Earth. Like there's a scene where you kind of see Superman talking, but there's some things happening in the background where he's not involved in. You know what I mean? Like there are things going on that doesn't involve him, but it is something that a superhero would have addressed. But the other heroes are taking care of it. So he's like, I'm good. I think that was a really clever way of handling the story content. It had really good emotional parts as well. I'm not gonna lie, they did a good job with the emotions that you don't normally get from these, like optimistic. That's the feeling that I think I got. A feeling of optimism, of just not the brooding stuff from the other Superman movies. Sort of brooding, sort of morose storyline and content. This was not that at all. This was bright. It was cheerful, and it felt good. I will complain about one thing though. Let me get this straight. That they stepped on the emotional stuff with jokes. Like you get a really strong emotional part, and then they will step on it immediately with jokes. I kind of get where they were going with that. They're trying to keep it cheerful and happy and upbeat. But if you have a moment like that, you should rock with the moment. You know what I mean? Don't run from it. And it felt like they were doing that over and over again. Not over and over, a few times, maybe 4 times they did it. 3 or 4 times they probably did that. But it was a really, really, I felt they stepped on their moment a few times, probably on purpose, but I thought they didn't have to do that. So outside of those, that's minor criticism, because it actually is a minor criticism. I thought the movie was fantastic. It did a really good job. Just so I don't forget, the controversy about it being too woke. Stop. It's not that at all. That is grossly over-exaggerated. There is no one-to-one comparison between Israel and Palestine. That conflict, that's not even close. The only thing that was similar is that you had a really powerful group on one end and a weaker, browner group on the other side. That was the only real comparison I saw between Israel and Palestine. Everything else was completely different, totally not related. Is there some similarities? Not enough to make this whole people complain about it. It's kind of dumb, honestly. There's no reason to bring that up. People will. I think they're wrong. So in my opinion, they need to let that go. Focus on the story. It's actually really uplifting. And I think it's going to be the movie of the year, I think. Unless something else comes out that's better. But in terms of like that feel-good superhero movie, unless Fantastic Four does something incredible, this is taking it. And I will say this too. I saw the previews for Fantastic Four, and I think they're going towards that path as well, with this sort of more comic booky, fun sort of movie concepts. So that's it. Is it worth going to see? Absolutely. Should you go see it? Absolutely. Check it out. It's worth it. It's a good movie. You guys will love it. And take your kids. They'll love it too. My kids loved it. They thought it was really awesome. All right. Peace.
I cleaned your boots. I'll go get them for you.